Hello again, everybody. I hope everyone's midterms went well. I will try to get your tests back to you as soon as possible, probably within week 10. That is my goal. Keep in mind that I, like you, have been fairly busy this semester. But we are moving on. Here we are. It is week 9. All right, week 9 in our academic writing course is an exciting week because not only have we accomplished our midterm, but we are shifting our direction, our focus in this class to produce some actual academic writing. So our first of two essays, as I've mentioned before, will be our term essay. So in this video, I would like to introduce this assignment clearly so I can define exactly what it is, what you need to accomplish in terms of the length, the topic, the format, and also the schedule, our process. Okay, so that's what this video will provide you. Okay, all the information you need to know to be successful at writing our term essay. All right, and I want to highlight that this is a process. Okay, we are going to take time to write this essay. If you think you just want to sit down one night and accomplish this task, do not do that. It will be an obstacle towards your development and your learning, and you won't get the same results as if you follow the process that I'd like us to follow here. Okay, it'll help you not only for this assignment, but in your development as a writer moving forward. So let's discuss exactly what this assignment is and how we will follow that process. All right, as you know, this is academic writing, and I've mentioned before that we have a term essay that will take about 5 or 6 weeks. And specifically, what we are writing is hopefully a well-written, persuasive academic essay on a topic of your choice. So keep in mind 2 key words here. All right, obviously the course is academic writing, but this is an essay and it is going to be persuasive. So you have to convince or persuade the audience to your thesis. All right, that is the genre here, a persuasive academic essay. All right, and again, you get to choose whatever topic you'd like. The final draft will be due Wednesday, 1st of December at 9 a.m. That's the set due date here. Of course, if you do have any difficulties meeting that due date, please make sure that you are in communication with me. All right, so let's define a little bit more when we talk about an academic persuasive essay. All right, so you are going to choose your topic. You are going to develop a thesis. All right, a thesis is your opinion, your strong assertion, more specific to your topic. All right, and you are trying to get the reader to adopt or believe your perspective, your thesis on that topic. So the purpose of this essay in general is to take everything that we studied in week 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and test it for in week 8. Right? All those skills and concepts that are mostly abstract, although I did try to give you a chance to apply that knowledge and practice that knowledge in the different exercises we had. But this is where we really get to apply it to some authentic academic writing. And that's what we're doing in this term essay. So all of the concepts of essay structure, thesis development, cohesive devices, appeals, logic, organization, unity, coherence, all of those different things that we've studied are going to be helpful and necessary to developing this essay. And as I mentioned earlier, we are going to apply the writing process. So the writing process means we're going to take time to do some pre-writing, right? I've mentioned to you throughout the course, you will be in a good position right now if you think about a possible topic, academic topic for this writing. Do some research, do some reading, do some thinking, make some notes. All right, because you want to become as much of an expert on your topic as you can, because that will help you with the overall result of this essay, this academic essay. So the first 2 weeks, we're going to be spending a lot of time pre-writing. Okay, so if you haven't done any reading or research or thinking now, you must do it this week. All right, and next week. So choose a topic that you think will be appropriate for this subject, academic. All right, an academic topic. Find research and reading that is suitably academic. Think about your sources, and then just come up with as much good information about that topic as you can, and then organize that into an essay outline. That's what we're going to do for pre-writing, and then we're going to share that knowledge with each other. Okay, 2 weeks later, I'm going to give you time, about a week, to write a rough draft. Okay, I'll give some supplementary lectures online for additional skills and development as we go. So make sure you follow up with the video lectures continuously, but you will be working on, over time, your essay as homework as well. Okay, and then after your rough draft editing, the next step in the writing process will be to spend 2 weeks doing peer editing and self-editing. And I will suggest groups of students in your class to exchange your essays with and to help improve that. Of course, I will explain the editing process in a later video as well. And then, of course, the final step of the writing process will be to submit, to hand in, to email me your final, polished, beautiful academic term essay. And of course, that will be due Wednesday, 1st of December, 9 a.m. All right. Again, if you have any difficulty with due dates, please communicate with me. All right. So we're going to follow that writing process over 4 or 5 weeks. So about 2 weeks on pre-writing. Okay, pre-writing means before you do the rough draft. So, like I said, do not sit down right now and just write this essay. That's not the process I want to follow. And doing that won't provide you the kind of benefit that following this process will. All right. Part of this class is also learning the writing process and learning how to use that effectively so that you can produce a much better product, a much better final draft. So keep that in mind as well. All right, so that's basically what we're doing. All right, and persuasive academic essay on a topic of your choice. We are going to follow the writing process of pre-writing, brainstorming and organizing, step 1, rough draft writing, step 2, editing, peer and self, step 3, and finally submitting the final draft, step 4. Okay, and that will take us 4 or 5 weeks. All right, in terms of some further helpful definitions, the form of the essay will be a minimum of 5 paragraphs, okay? Just like we studied when we looked at the essay structure, okay? So there's a minimum. You must have at least 5 paragraphs. So you must have at least 1 paragraph for your introduction section. Then your body section must have at least 3 body paragraphs. And then finally, you must have at least 1 paragraph for your conclusion. Okay, minimum 5 paragraph essay. Introduction, body, 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 conclusion. All right. If you want to include more paragraphs, that's fine, but just make sure you have a logical, clear structure to your essay, and it has an introduction, a body, and a conclusion. Okay, and those introduction sections, or that introduction section, the body section, and the conclusion does what it needs to do. So again, go back and look at what we studied when we talk about introduction, body, and conclusion, and make sure your essay and your sections of your essay do those things appropriately. All right, so minimum 5 paragraphs, and the length. Here I've given you some sway, quite a lot actually. It must be between 750 and 1,000 words. Okay, that is approximately 3 to 4 pages long. All right, if you follow the format that I am telling you, you must follow. So pay attention to that when you're writing. I will give some more detailed instructions when you're about to submit the final draft about how the essay must look on the page when you submit it. Okay, I'll give you more detailed instruction later, but basically just to make sure you're in the proper length, okay, 750,000 words. You can check the word count on your word processor, whether it's Hangul or Microsoft. It should be Microsoft Word when you submit it. But check that you are between that range of 750 to 1,000 words. And also the font here is Times New Roman. Okay, font means the style of the writing in the word processor. Times New Roman. Okay, not Calibri, not Arial, not any other kind. Times New Roman. And the size of the font, the size of the characters, must be between 12 and 14 point font. Okay, if you follow Times New Roman 12 to 14 font, typically you will get about 250 words per page. Right. Also, for the assignment, again, I'll give you more details later, but no cover page is necessary for this. All right. Also in your handout here, just to remind you, we have a large amount of time for this project. We have 4 or 5 weeks. So in terms of how I grade these, I have a much greater expectation for your results. You get a lot of time so that you can produce a higher product, a better product. Okay, compare that with the midterm exam. That was essentially a take-home open book test. I don't think it was particularly difficult if you followed the studies and did your reading. All right. Also, when it comes to the second essay you'll be writing, there's a very much shorter time limit and less time to prepare and less time to follow a process. So my expectation for the quality of your final essay is going to be much lower than this term essay. This term essay is going to be your greatest opportunity to shine and achieve results in this course. And the grading represents that. This assignment is worth 40% of your final grade. Okay, that is the highest percentage of any other aspect of the course, and I expect the greatest work to come from this assignment, and your greatest effort to come in this assignment. All right, so keep that in mind, because when I grade this, I will be expecting your best effort. Okay. All right, when it comes to topics, all right, remember you have 100% of the choice in the topic. Any topic is possible as long as it is appropriately academic. Okay, now that means almost any topic. What really makes the topic academic, suitably academic, is really your position, your thesis, and also your research, your evidence, your development. Okay, so some topics might seem a little bit unacademic, but anything can be studied in this world. But make sure your position is objective, okay, suitably academic. And make sure that your research is suitably academic. Your sources, you get expert information, or you get trustworthy statistics. Okay, an online poll from YouTube is not suitably academic. You want other academics, professors and critics who have studied this. You want to get their testimony, their sayings, and you want to quote them. You want to get other studies and statistics and other data to support your ideas. Okay? Keep in mind, support your ideas. Right? Do not just take their ideas. Anything you include in here should be to support your thesis. All right? So make sure you have a suitable topic for a persuasive academic essay. All right? And it's suitable based on your thesis and your supporting ideas and supporting evidence. All right, so keep that in mind. Also consider when you're choosing your topic just how long this essay is. As I mentioned, it's 750 to 1,000 words. So does your topic, and more specifically your thesis, does that provide enough space, enough scope to develop 3 pages of writing? Okay, if your thesis is too narrow or your topic is too small, you might greatly struggle to find 750 to 1,000 words. Or, on the other side, if your topic and specifically your thesis is too broad, you might struggle to contain your argument in only 750 to 1,000 words. All right, so keep in mind the scope. What is your topic, and more importantly, your thesis, and is it appropriate for 750,000 to 1,000 words? Is it too small or is it too large? Okay, consider that when you are considering your pre-writing. All right, like I said, if you want possible examples, you could look at ideas like mandatory military service in Korea. All right, that is a controversial issue which many people in this day and age especially have competing opinions about. All right, so that is a topic where you can easily choose, yes or no, right? But again, yes or no is not specific enough. Make sure your thesis is more specific when you develop it. But as a general topic, that could be an effective issue to choose to write your academic persuasive essay on. All right. We're all students here. You could talk about university education in Korea. All right. Perhaps you are an exchange student. You might have a unique perspective and a unique interest in this. Or just consider the way university education has changed and is changing, and perhaps especially these days with the pandemic and online teaching, there might be some very interesting issues within this larger topic to explore and develop an opinion on. Okay, so perhaps university education in Korea might be a suitable topic for you if you can find an interesting thesis. Okay. Another popular issue these days is climate change. You could consider Korea's reliance on coal power. If you talk about climate change, that might be an example of a topic that's just too large. If you want to talk about climate change all over the world, it's hard to really cover that topic in only 750 to 1,000 words. Okay? Whole books have been written on this topic, and even then, the scope is far too large. So if you want to focus on climate change and the crisis that surrounds that, choose a suitable scope, a suitable boundary. So you could focus on one nation or one aspect of one nation's climate change plans or goals, and how suitable or unsuitable they might be. Okay, that's up for you to decide. All right, or maybe more broadly here, you can always look at changes in law. All right, and how that could be suitably academic, depending on whatever social issue or economic issue or whatever issue that is stimulating a society to change its laws, right? I know there's a lot of, climate change, for example, there's a lot of law and policy that is evolving on climate change in finances, e-finance, especially cryptocurrency. That's a pretty hot topic these days as well. If one of those topics interests you, you could explore that and find an opinion that you can put forth as your thesis in an objective way and examine it in an academic way. All right? But truly, the choice is yours when it comes to a topic. Either way, whatever topic you choose, I would like to see it before you begin your rough draft and give you some sort of guidance on how effective that might be as a topic for a persuasive academic essay. All right? So that's basically the definition of the assignment. You are writing a well-written, persuasive academic essay about a topic of your choice that will be a minimum of 5 paragraphs and between 750 to 1,000 words. Okay, if you're over 1,000 words, you will be penalized in your score. If you are under 750 words, you will be penalized in your score as well. So make sure you pay attention to the length. Okay, so I briefly described the kind of schedule and directions when I discussed the writing process, but in your notes I have included a basic schedule that we will follow for the rest of this semester, but it will more importantly detail week to week what we need to accomplish in this course to to finish our term essay. All right. So this is week 9 right now. Okay. This is the week 9 video. So this week you're obviously going to watch this video, read these notes, and make sure you understand what you're writing, why you're writing it, and who you're writing it for. Okay. You know this is an academic persuasive writing. I told you all the definition already. So make sure you're clear about that. But your next step now, if you have not done any work whatsoever, is to choose a topic and brainstorm it and gather as much good information, okay, academic sourced information as you can from a variety of reliable or trustworthy sources, okay, academic sources. Okay, make yourself an expert on your topic, and I want you to develop a working thesis. Okay, have some kind of idea of a main idea. What is your opinion on this broader topic? So a thesis, remember, is more specific, and it's a strong assertion that is your opinion. Now, we don't present it with "I think this," because this is not a personal essay. It's an academic essay. So you're going to state it as an assertion, all right? But at its heart, in its essence, it is your opinion, but you present it objectively and focus your attention not on you, the writer, but on this topic and this information that you have gathered and organized. All right, but develop that working thesis, and then when you've done enough research and reading about your topic, you're going to organize that information based on your working thesis. Okay, the thesis does not have to be perfect. It can always change over time, but a good, strong, specific, concrete thesis will help you give direction through the writing process, even though your thesis may change. Okay, and the last thing you need to accomplish by the end of this week is to move through the pre-writing and finish with a only one page essay outline. Okay, just like we studied in week 7. All right, so that 1-page graphic organizer with your working thesis on the top of the page, your main points for your body, and then below those main points, your supporting points for the main points, which support your thesis. A 1-page essay outline. Okay, that's going to be your roadmap for your rough draft. All right, so week 9, that's your job. Research, read, think, collect information, organize information, develop a working thesis, write a 1-page essay outline. Next week, week 10, you are going to share your 1-page essay outline. Okay, this week I will post groups, all right, to groups of peers, classmates, that we are going to use to help us develop our writing. Okay, they will be helping us in week 10, and then they'll also be helping us later when we are editing. So these will be your editing partners and helpers in the writing process. So next week, week 10, you are going to share your 1-page essay outline, okay, not an essay, an essay outline, with your classmates. And at the same time, you're going to email me that 1-page essay outline, okay, in week 10. So With your classmates, you just want to read through your classmates' one-page essay outline. Okay, it's not a whole essay, so it should not take a lot of time. But look at the outline of your classmates and consider, is the thesis well written? Is it a clear, specific, strong assertion? Does it use academic language? Does it have the appropriate vocabulary? And then look at the argument. What are the main points of the body? And what evidence or explanation is the writer providing? Okay, just briefly. And just look at that and think about the logic and reasonableness of that argument. Is it well connected? Is it coherent? Is it unified? Are there gaps in information? Is there an overlap in logic? Okay, again, you can see how we need to apply everything that we've been studying so far, but here just on these essay outlines. So help each other and give advice. All right, it's okay to say whatever you want to say, because our purpose is trying to improve, and the writer can listen to your advice or ignore your advice. But the most important thing is that you give your advice, your sincere advice in trying to help your classmate write an effective, persuasive academic essay. All right, I will be doing the same thing for each of you, which is why you also must send me your one-page essay outline to that email address as well. And I will try to get back to you as soon as possible. And I will approve your topic and an essay outline. So once I say, yes, this is acceptable, next step will be in week 11 to write your rough draft. Okay, so we have 1 week just to write the rough draft. I do want to stress, when you're writing the rough draft, remember that it is a rough draft. So don't expect it to be perfect. Don't feel too much of a burden in trying to be perfect, right? This is how the writing process works. We want to take some of the stress of writing off of our shoulders by moving step by step towards the final project, but trying to improve the way we think about our topic and express our ideas step by step. Okay? So you'll have 1 week, week 11, to write the rough draft. Just take your essay outline, take all of your notes and your research, and sit down and put all of those wonderful ideas, your thesis, your supporting ideas, your main body ideas, your supporting ideas, put them into appropriate, unified, developed, coherent sections of an essay, introduction, body, and conclusion, and keeping in mind how to paragraph appropriately too. Okay, and remember, minimum 5 paragraphs. All right. Once you accomplish the rough draft, which should be and must be accomplished after week 11, we will spend 2 weeks working on editing. Okay, week 12 especially, okay, you're gonna go back to your classmates, your helpers, your peer editors, and you're going to exchange now your rough drafts. Okay, and you are going to carefully read each other's rough drafts, and you are going to suggest improvement. You're going to look at the language, you're going to look at the logic, you're going to look at the reasons, the examples, but you're also going to be looking at other things, not just the ideas. You're going to be looking at the structure of the writing. Is the introduction effective? Is each body section, each body part or point effective and reasonable and structured well? Is the conclusion appropriately structured? And then you're also going to be looking for grammar mistakes and spelling mistakes and punctuation mistakes, all those little things too, right? So you're going to exchange it with many partners in this class over 2 weeks and try to improve your writing, okay? And then finally, you are going to take a look at all the advice your classmates have given you, and you must decide what your final essay will look like. Okay? You have to make the final choices. They will all, your partners, give you wonderful, sincere, helpful advice. But remember, this essay is your baby, and you are the parent. You must decide what the final draft will be, okay? But always listen to what your editors have to say, but you make the final choices. All right, then in week 14, Wednesday, 1st of December, 9 a.m., you must submit your final draft to me. All right, and I will do my best. I'll be very busy that week. You have no idea how crushing this work can be when you have 50 students in the class. But I will return those essays with as much feedback as I can afford in terms of time and resources, and then try to get them back to you before you write the final exam, which will come a week later. Okay, and we'll talk about that final exam much later. All right, so this is our basic schedule. Week 9 to week 14, we are going to follow this writing process of pre-writing, gathering information, organizing and thinking, coming up with a working thesis, and making an essay outline, and then sharing our essay outline, getting information and feedback back before we write the rough draft, but then doing our best attempt at a rough draft that will not be perfect, and then exchanging those rough drafts with our classmates to improve and take their advice, and then finally polishing our own final draft and submitting it. Okay, about 5 weeks we're going to spend doing that process. Okay, that is the term academic assignment. Okay, and of course week 15 the final exam, but more on that later. All right, so that is our basic process that we will follow. As I mentioned earlier, some of the weeks I will also give video lectures like this one on helpful skills, which again you can apply to the writing of this essay. For example, certain skills on how to use quotations, how to use cohesive devices, how to edit properly, and how to meet the format, what the essay should look like when you submit the final draft. All right, so make sure you pay attention to those supplementary video lectures in the future as well. All right, one more quick note, and that is on plagiarism. Plagiarism, if you don't know, I've included a definition in the notes. Basically, plagiarism is when you steal material, steal ideas, steal writing, right? We all know that this is inappropriate and it is an academic crime, all right? And you will not do this in this course, all right? If you do, you will not have your essay accepted, all right? And if your essay is not accepted, you will receive a 0 on the assignment, which means basically you will fail the course because this assignment is worth 40% of your grade. All right, so obviously I encourage you to do a lot of research and reading, But when you write your essay, remember what a thesis is. It is your main idea. It is your opinion. And then, of course, we need to develop that opinion in the body with other supporting ideas and evidence and explanation. Now, in supporting your idea, you can find wonderful ideas from other people, other writers, other scientists, other academics. All right? But when you do that, you must give appropriate citation. You cannot steal that person's idea and say it is your idea. If somebody, if you, in your reading, happens to have an idea that you share, you can quote that person and show that this person agrees with what you say. And that develops your ethos argument. Okay? But you must provide that citation. You must show that somebody else said that. So we'll talk about this more later, as I said, but you must provide that citation. Okay? If you take somebody's exact words, you're going to use quotation marks. If you're borrowing an idea and explaining it in your words, you must tell the reader where you get this idea from, and you must provide the citations as well. Okay. When it comes to citations, I'm not going to teach MLA or APA. You can choose whatever way you want to cite. But make sure you do cite. Otherwise, you will be accused of plagiarism and your essay will not be accepted. Right? Also, if you think you can go find some information on the internet and cut and paste and put that into your essay, let me assure you that is not possible. All right? One, I'm a native speaker. And I know how a native speaker writes and how a non-native speaker writes. All right. When I see this, it is easy, like black and white, for me to see. But on top of that, what I also know is that you are not a professional writer. And I'm a little bit older than you, and I'm a little bit more experienced with professional writing. So when I see your writing and a professional writer's writing, it is quite obvious. Again, it's black and white. If you are presenting somebody else's, a professional writer's writing as your own, it is very easy to see for me. And then I will go and I will find the source. All right? And I will catch you for plagiarism, and you will not have your essay accepted. Okay? So, do not waste your time. I also have plagiarism checking software to make my job a little bit easier, just to find the source, not to recognize it, which I will do, and I always use on all of the writing. I always test everybody's essays for plagiarism. So I will find the source and I will catch it. So don't waste your time with plagiarized material. It will not be accepted, and you'll be wasting your time, and you'll be wasting my time, which does not make me happy, especially when I am so busy at this time of the year with a writing class. So don't plagiarize, okay? We have time to do the writing. We have time to improve the writing. Use the time well. Use the writing process properly, and do not plagiarize. Simple as that. You won't learn anything either. You obviously took this course to improve your abilities as a writer and as a student. So use this time to do that. Plagiarizing does not make you a better person or a better student. In fact, it makes you a much worse one, and you may fail this course. So do not plagiarize. All right. On a happier note, I hope you are excited and you are ready to take all of the skills and knowledge that we've learned so far and get into some authentic academic writing in the form of a well-written, persuasive academic essay on a topic of your choice. Minimum 5 paragraphs, 752,000 words. Due December 1st, Wednesday, 9 o'clock. All right, and again, week 9, this week, you must do some reading, some research, and gather as much good information as you can, come up with a thesis, and come up with a 1-page essay outline by the end of this week, so that next week, week 10, you can share it with your classmates and you can share it with me. And I will approve it so that you can move on to step 2 and write a rough draft. All right. Thank you for listening, everybody. I hope you are all well.